It's still videos thing, and it's
So if the light turns red, then we're live.
Yeah, now that it's us.
Like now.
Yeah, like right now. Welcome, guys.
Not then now. Now.
Now.
Yeah.
Now it's us. Like
I'm gonna make a disclaimer before we start. We're probably not going to be in control of what happens on the show today.
No.
Given the audience.
Oh no.
We have a live audience in studio.
He's fanning.
Yeah, and you know what he's fanning, right?
Yeah, I do. So, welcome. It is the end of February.
Yeah, 27th, man.
We are almost out of the cold time frames.
My wife and I were talking about this yesterday. It's like, when do we get on the motorcycle and go do stuff? I said, we can do it now. You just got to dress right.
A friend of mine has been out there running and jogging and all that good stuff. Just posted pictures. Their stuff starting to sprout, so it kind of makes you want to think that we might be on the downhill slope of the snow season.
Yeah. Thursday morning is supposed to be an ice storm.
But then there's supposed to be ice, so.
What do you got?
It's Missouri.
Here, let me show them this one first.
Okay. You show them the fancied up
one. We show a lot of cool stuff in here, right? And
that's a cool
people
stuff.
Think that shooting is like big guns and loud noises, but this literally is one of my favorite guns in the store, and it's a bolt action precision 22.
It makes me think that you should be able to shoot 22 out to like 600 yards.
This thing, you just got to have the right holdover.
And one heck of a strong wind from behind.
Instead of a 20 MOA, you're going to need like a 120 MOA mount for it. This is a great rifle, Ruger Precision in 22 long, bolt action, free float barrel, full length M-lock, threaded, fully adjustable stock for cheek weld and length of pull. Great trigger on this thing.
Yeah, it's still
we're not going to test fire.
Trigger or whatever it is.
Got an trigger.
Same trigger.
Yep.
I mean, it's the precision rifle. Just munchkinized.
Yeah, it's friggin' awesome. Now, I'm not going to test fire it because it's rim fire. We don't want to wear down that firing pin. But it takes the same mags that you run in your 1022. Mm-hmm. So you can doll this thing up, put a nice
I think the only thing you need on this thing would be probably something simple like a 3x9.
Yep.
Because for a 22, I think 3x9 would be.
Yep. I shoot a lot of 22 with just fixed 4-power too. I mean.
This is a precision gun though, so you're going to want to quote unquote stretch the legs a little bit. I mean, you might want to
put a bipod on it,
200 yards or so.
Run a bipod on it, put a nice scope on it.
Bipod and an optic, and then
run some good ammo through it, some high velocity stuff. Some of that CCI green would be great in this. It's a nice high velocity, very accurate. Great gun. Less than $500, right?
Yeah. It's like just a shade over $400.
Yeah, it's friggin' love that rifle. Love that rifle. And
way cool.
You talk about being able to shoot all day and spend $12.
Right.
Boom. There you go.
Or you could hunt all day, and then
this just looks like a club, dude.
Well, it kind of is a club right now, and the cool thing about it is, like this, it actually floats.
Yeah.
So it's waterproof.
Very clever design.
And really kind of cool. What is it, you ask? Well, when we pop out the back end.
I was waiting for him to have a yard sale.
Hey, you got a barrel, we got the receiver, and you got an extra mag in there. And so it goes together real nice and simple. Slide your receiver in. Throw your barrel
right in
on.
that slot. Yep.
Boom, and you're done.
Semi-automatic, 10-round mags.
Yeah, so you can literally, it's got space for 2 mags plus the mag in the receiver. So I mean, realistically, you can go out and have all the ammo in the world you could need.
What are you doing?
Tightening.
You're tightening the receiver down. Yeah.
So that way it becomes like a regular functioning
rifle. That thing's super cool.
Yeah.
And the sights aren't terrible on it.
I mean, it's
cool.
It's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And it's just your little baby pew shooter.
Yep. But a great canoeing, boating, backpacking.
Yeah, this one's like $200.
Yeah, super great option.
So super cheap, super easy, and
I don't think we can talk prices on FaceTime. booked, I think, can't we?
Whatever.
Sorry.
Yes, there's no reason that we can't. They got to catch us.
Anyway, two
awesome,
super
like,
cool options.
Super cool, 22
22
options.
longs. We like them.
The
We
last
like
caliber
22s.
that's still cheap, and it is readily available again.
Yep.
So we're out of that scare for the past, 10 years or so, where it was very scarce for a while.
Yeah, that I'm at Walmart. Let me go see if they have 22, because if they do, I'm buying it.
Yeah, I don't need it, but I might
I have
as well.
50,000 rounds, but I can always use another 200.
Right.
Which
So,
is true. I don't disagree with that.
I mean, and it's a fun round. I mean,
Super cool.
fun caliber.
All right, let's.
So we got a bunch of fun stuff going on this week, and the last over the last weekend, John and Kelly were out in Kansas City at the tactical or law enforcement tactical something or other convention. So they were out there representing the range, and
Yeah, he said it
regards
was-
to our law enforcement deal through SIG.
Yep, he said it was interesting being in a building full of alpha males and females.
Yeah.
He said, and legit alpha males and females.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I mean-
this is another, because of who we are. SIG actually came to us and said, hey, do you want to be the LE dealer for the state of Missouri? Because of our reputation. And, John's like, well, yeah, we do. So
Yeah.
we're getting into it with both feet. So
Absolutely. I mean, we've got a dozen or so police departments and
Yep.
different departments that come and do their qualifications here. So if you're in a department that's looking for a nice place to come do your quals,
Yep.
we have room.
Yep.
This weekend, big shout out, follow the guys, Dustin and Kentrell will be down in Louisiana representing us.
It's not Louisiana. It's Louisiana.
Whatever.
Louisiana.
At the Louisiana State IDPA match. So they've got IDPA down there. Good luck to those guys. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I'm excited for him.
Just look at that. Would you look at
I can't
that?
look over there. I'm trying to not do that.
He was trying not to get too excited. Training coming up. We've got low light on Thursday.
Yep. Tomorrow. Still a couple of seats
Still a couple
there.
of seats left on that one. CCW on Saturday. 2 seats. I think Rob's saying 2 seats left. We got CCW on Saturday. Carbine 1 on Tuesday.
Yep.
Of next week.
And that's any carbine. I mean,
Yeah.
if you got
Yeah.
an M&P 1522 and want to run it, great. If you got an
Yeah,
AR,
it's
great.
it's
An AK, great.
kind of your basics into getting
Yep.
into the home defense
Yep.
with a rifle, kind of a
But yeah,
class.
SCAR, anything you've got that's basically a semi-automatic carbine, can be pistol caliber.
yeah,
All good.
M1 Garand, that'd be cool. I mean, it'd be a bit much for that class, but hey, right. Next Saturday we got basic handgun and another anti-carjacking. That's a free one, and I also want to bring up that we're going to be going over some of the reasons that you would definitely want to be in that class.
Yeah. If you watch the news, you know you need to take it.
Yeah, it's
Period.
getting huge.
Yep. Big deal.
Big problem. We'll get into that here in just a moment. And a quick reminder: save the date. March 22nd, 23rd, we'll have SIG reps in. We've got SIG stuff going on all month long.
SIG
next
toys.
month we've got toys and.
Yep.
But on the 22nd and 23rd, SIG will be here. They'll have all kinds of pistols to test out. You'll be getting some ammo with that, so it doesn't
Yep.
cost you anything to test
Nope.
them out.
You're gonna have some
suppressors,
rifles,
pistols, rifles,
MCX,
MCX, MPX,
Tread.
the tread.
Yep. I like that
We're
trip.
also giving away an X5 that day, so P320 X5.
Yep.
In Coyote Tan.
Yep, we're gonna do
we'll
a
be
drawing.
Giving away to one lucky winner. So,
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
yeah,
It'll be a nice weekend.
We'll have a little more details. It'll probably launch. Well, we'll actually launch on the 1st and 2nd. We'll get all those details out to you guys. But remember, 22nd, 23rd, be here, play with some SIG stuff.
You can come in before then and play with SIG stuff. We've got some downstairs.
Yeah, we've got it all on the range, and we're
yeah,
trying
for
to
sure.
talk around into doing free rentals on SIG stuff all month long, but we're working on Ron. But you know,
I've turned into the bad guy around here. Since
no,
Chris
not a
showed up.
bad guy. Just the guy we like to poke. If you want to complain, he's the guy. I don't have to listen to it. I like that. So, in the news, got some sad news to start off with.
Sorry.
Get that over and done with.
Legend.
Some of you may know him. If you don't know him, you seriously need to go check him out.
Yep.
He was an incredible guy. Ron Avery, the co-founder of Tactical Performance Center in Utah.
Yep.
Utah.
Think so.
An absolutely incredible mind when it comes to shooting. His basic story is he was in a shootout years ago and made a plea to the man upstairs during the shootout that if he helped him through that shootout, he would dedicate his life to teaching other people how to defend themselves. And he was an
He introduced things into the
amazing
training
guy.
programs that are common today that were not, when he got started with it. So
Yeah.
really made some great advances for us. A great asset to the shooting community. So
Yeah.
he will be missed.
Yeah.
Great talent, great
So,
man.
Yeah. Cancer got him, so
Yep.
fight that stuff.
So that's the sad note. So let's
So let's
Turn it
boost
around.
it back up. Blues 12 wins in February.
Last night, did anybody watch last night's game? Freaking, my wife and I watched the whole game. She's like, I've never watched a hockey game that was 0-0 and enjoyed it as much as I did this one. It was just a great game.
Yeah.
Great game. So
12 wins in February. I think that's a record for them, and it just seems to be
You have
right
an
after they
interesting
got the
anecdote.
dog. So they get a team dog and they go on a winning streak. I'm not sure if that's actually
I think they actually got the
tied
dog
together, but
I think
nonetheless.
my wife can tell me if she's watching. She's not watching.
No, she's
But
not watching.
She, my
She
wife
hears you
tracks all
enough.
that dog stuff. They've had that dog for about 4 months, but at least I think.
I'm still going with the.
Do you have a piercing in that ear?
I had my ears pierced many years ago. Yes, I actually had big gauges in there too, like big zero gauge in my tongue. Yeah, used
All right. I'm just making a middle note.
to, you know,
Dan Workman says quit fishing with a stupid paper clip.
do things.
Okay.
Right. Just
that better?
swallow it. Just swallow it. But yeah, I don't know if it's something, but I don't know. Dog wins.
Dog
maybe.
win. Hey, anyway, keep
I'm
it
not
up.
sure.
That's a lot of fun to watch right now.
Yeah. So
Carjackings.
carjackings. Quick update. We talked about the Schnucks carjacking. What is that? Last week we talked about that. They found the car. They didn't find the people
No
yet,
bad guy.
but they did find the car. So good one on that one. It's our boys in
That was over at Schnucks.
Yeah, the one in Schnucks on Butler Hill.
Well, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock Friday morning over in
10
St.
o'clock
Charles?
Friday morning.
Another grocery store.
Yeah.
This is like the
And
third or
at
fourth
Aldi's.
one in a week.
It was busy.
Yeah.
10 o'clock in the morning on a Friday morning. Luckily, this woman, she was getting out of her car, saw the guy approaching, knew right away what he was up to, and started screaming and yelling about an attempted carjacking, and that was enough to, I guess, spook him and send him running. Police ended up catching up with him a few minutes
Yep.
later, so
Good for her.
boys in blue doing their
Yeah,
thing.
she said I think she said she lost her voice. She was yelling so loud and screaming.
Oh,
so
that's
loud.
the other one. That was
Is that
the
a different one?
Yeah, that was the one that happened late at night.
Oh, but it was another carjacking.
Another carjacking.
Yep.
Yeah. But that was the one.
I don't think we got it on here. There were a bunch of them.
they're- Sadly,
again,
it's like pulling them and just like, okay, well, we'll talk about these this time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
getting really bad to a point where Attorney General Eric Smith
Yep.
is in town in St. Louis now, announcing his new plan for trying to take the carjacking and setting it aside as a separate offense. Right now, it just goes down as regular burglary or
armed robbery, yeah.
armed robbery, whatever. But
Right.
they're trying at this point to say, okay, this is getting to a point where we need to really start focusing on this. We really need to cut it down. And I
need to
talk
put
about
some
it. There's-
need to put some teeth in it. I think what he's talking about introducing would classify carjackings as a separate felony, and it would be, if convicted, like a mandatory 10-year sentence.
Right now,
So-
it's
So right now, who?
if you get stealing motor vehicle, Class D felony.
Class D.
So it's a Class D felony right now,
Yeah.
which is pretty much a petty crime,
It's
right?
a ticket. Yeah.
I mean, It's a felony nonetheless.
Yeah.
You lose.
With a
well,
fine
these
and-
guys obviously they're not paying attention to laws a whole lot, but Class D is kind of the low hanging. Like,
Yeah.
you're not really a good criminal at that point, right?
You got a D. You got to work for that A.
Right.
Is that what you're telling them?
You
Oh.
failed criminal school.
So, I like that. They gave some
Yeah.
stats. They're what, 350
350
carjackings last year
last
in
year,
St. Louis?
and I
One a
think they're
day.
saying that like they're up this month,
Yeah.
year so far.
Those are the reported ones. How many? You know that there are a bunch of them that somebody tried and were never reported.
40.
So,
Jeez. Like,
So the news reported. That's what the news reported.
for the- allegedly.
He said allegedly. I use that word, allegedly.
Right. Allegedly. So yeah.
you have to be aware,
That was
folks.
nuts,
You
yeah.
got to be aware. Stop. Make sure you're looking around for people loitering.
Yeah, you had that same. We were just talking last week about
Mike?
before you get out of the car,
Yep.
first thing you do is
These guys are clever. So my wife and I, on Saturday, went down to the city to a restaurant that we like down there, the Oyster Bar.
yeah, the Oyster Bar.
Parked behind the Oyster Bar. There was an attendant there. Backed the car in. The car's still locked. I did my look around, check the mirrors, see nothing. Open the door, get out, lock the car, turn around. There's a guy 15 feet from me. Starts walking towards me, and I just put my hand out and said, "Don't get any closer to me. I got nothing for you." And the guy turned around and left. Could have been just a guy that was wanting a handout, but he was obviously picked that spot to ambush whoever was parked there.
Yeah.
Whether he just trying to get $1 or trying to get a car, who knows? But it just turned. But there are a couple of lessons there. You've got to always be looking. Number one. Number two, voice command and hand command and eye contact work. Now, given I'm not a 53-year-old 100-pound female, I get that. But when you make eye contact and give voice command, that can put you in a position where you can control the situation. If you tell somebody, "Hey, don't get any closer, I don't know you," and they continue to advance on you, they've basically identified themselves as a threat to you. So, we're trying to do a show here. What? Oh yeah, this is just a list of things that have happened out here in West County from our in-house. What do you call them?
I have no idea what you're even trying to
Joker.
do.
I wanted to say accomplice, but that's not right. In-house counsel. The Catholic store shooting out here in Baldwin. The carjacking at Uncle Bill's. The car that was stolen right across the street at the Quick Trip. There have been some break-ins from a number of cars in Ellisville, and it says we train people.
We train people. You in Baldwin at the range.
Oh.
So we train people,
Anyway,
which is kind of like train, but faster.
you can't say that to
You
them.
can't even like
Yeah, for these boys.
right. You
Dot
can't
the
even
I's.
like you
You
can't
gotta
even
dot the
catch
I's.
up to the training.
Well, again, it comes back,
No,
but
you
he's
can't.
right. Truth is,
Yeah.
if you're not training or practicing for these things, they can happen to you and you can get yourself in trouble in a hurry.
And we go over a lot of what these people have had problems with. So we got carjackings are huge. How long ago did we start that anti-carjacking?
It's been 6
deal?
months or
6
7 months ago,
And
maybe.
it's like,
There's some
it's
really
the first one
good
that so
skill
far
sets.
hasn't
there.
really sold out yet, but so get signed up.
Well,
learn
but I
some
think-
tips and tricks.
The other thing to remember is that class, what you learn in that class will apply to your personal
Yeah,
protection
it's
across the board.
Situational awareness more.
And some basic hand-to-hand skills that you can use, that anybody can use and pick up really quick.
Is it like high fives and like
Yep, if you want to call it high
what is
fives.
that thing that you
He gave me a high five and
kids
broke 3 knuckles, I think.
stuff?
Anyway, Dennis does a good job.
Yeah.
So here's some more good news. This one could almost be our hero. January
Yeah.
23rd, 4 people in a house. 3 guys tried to break in. One of them took the room temperature test.
Yeah, there were 4 people in the home, and they tried to break in, 3 guys, and one of them gets to meet his maker. Johnson had more than a dozen convictions, including burglary, stealing, resisting arrest,
gun charges. Yep.
Had
Fine
a prison term
upstanding.
in 2012, and then another one from March of 2015 all the way through July 2018. He's out 6 months, and right back into the same old,
Anyway,
breaking in. And,
homeowner was prepared, defended
Yeah.
themselves, no charges filed.
yeah, so,
Yeah, I'm not going to mention that. People can look that up to see.
yeah,
Go online and see who he was related to.
right.
How's that?
Yeah.
This one's scary. This Hodemont carjacking.
Yeah.
Guy got shot in the head, right?
In the head by 14 and 16-year-old
16-year-olds.
kids. Like, oh.
Yeah.
My God, like, they're still babies.
Yeah.
You got a 14-year-old, and to me, she's still a baby.
Well, and the folks that this happened to here to build a better life for themselves, and now they're not sure they're going to stay.
Yeah, moved here from Kenya 9 years ago to have a better place, have a better option, have jobs and resources
Opportunity.
like schools and so forth, which in Kenya they're just not that great. What there is available.
Yep.
And so now here it is. You know, they're already looking to move now, which is kind of sad. You got, you know. There's a lot of people running from the city, and it's not because the city is that bad, but there's some bad elements in the city that
They're everywhere.
need to
I
really
wouldn't
get-
just say
get
city. I mean, we
squared
just
up,
gave
but-
some examples that are happening out in West County now, and you
Yeah.
read it more and more. It's
Yeah, it's-
you have to be prepared. You have to be aware of what's going on around you, and
Mm-hmm.
you have to understand that yes, this can happen to you. I think that's one of the biggest things that people struggle with is they get that, is this really happening? Thought
Yeah.
going through their brain instead of taking action. So get off the X and be prepared to deal with it.
Do it.
Speaking of that,
Do it.
this thing in Maplewood's kind of scary. Same apartment gets shot up 2 nights in a row, like
Yeah.
60 or 70 rounds
Like
thrown
20
at it.
rounds, 20 shell casings, they were saying, were picked up on Sunday night, and then it got shot up again on Monday, and 40 rounds were picked up.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's going through the house into the neighboring homes because bullets don't stop at the first thing they run into.
Not usually.
They have a tendency to continue going on their forward momentum. So the people already moved out. So this happened, the shooting happened, their
weren't there.
apartment complex got shot up on Sunday. They moved out immediately. Monday, the house got hit again. So clearly these people have
I think somebody's
a
upset.
knowledge between the two.
Yeah, there's something more.
Who's
I think
what, but
somebody didn't get their Girl Scout cookie order or something. I don't know, but
I don't know. Did you
Bad
hear about
deal.
the one guy? Spent like $540 on
Girl
Girl
Scout
Scout cookies. Yeah, I guess he was going into the store and this little
I'll
Girl
take
Scout
'em.
troop out there, and he bought like $40 worth of cookies and went into the store and came out a little while later and told little girls that he felt bad for them. He wanted them to get out of all the cold, and he bought $500 worth of them. So he bought like $540 worth of Girl Scout cookies. Just
People
so
are
the kids
awesome.
would go home.
people are
He got
awesome.
arrested
He got arrested.
What?
for drug trafficking.
Oh, you're kidding me. Are you making that up?
I'm absolutely not.
You're saying
Really?
that same guy got arrested for drug trafficking?
Yeah, some sort of major drug charge today.
So some of those dollar bills he used to buy were tainted, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess that's one reason. Like, what's his plan? Oh, you know what? That may have been a business deal for him.
Yeah.
yeah.
He may have been looking like, oh, I can include a free box of Girl Scout cookies for
Or I
every
can stash my stuff in
2
the Girl Scout
pouches you
cookie box.
buy. Oh my God! Here, I thought
you
this
serious?
guy's a good dude.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You'll never
Anyway.
cease to amaze.
Folks,
Well, I removed that whole
please
props
be
to him.
careful, please be aware, but don't let it control your life.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I like to talk about. So, one of the I want to talk about something here that we get a lot in the store. We get a lot of people come in, they want to get a firearm, they want to get training. I love that. They want to make sure that they're prepared to take care of themselves. And, they talk about having a holster. We go to look at holsters and they're like, I just need something simple, something easy. I don't want to spend a lot of money on a holstering.
That's the one I hate. That or the cheap.
Yeah. What's the cheapest that you've got? Now,
What's the
okay,
cheapest you
I
got?
have cheap holsters. They're not holsters that I use for carry. They're stuff that I might keep the gun in the safe or keep it in the car so that the trigger's covered and, nobody can accidentally get to it and those kind of things. But when it comes to my everyday holster, I'm not telling you got to go spend $300, but you need to invest in a really good belt that's going to support that weight. and a really good holster that's going to allow you to do a number of things. Number one, it's got to cover that trigger guard, right? Period. Trigger guard's got to be covered. Number two, my opinion, it needs to retain its shape when the gun comes out so that you can reholster with one hand. Number three, it has to have good enough securing measures on it, clips or buckles or whatever it is, so that once the gun's in place, it doesn't move. The gun stays there. Number four, got to have enough retention so that you can take that gun and turn it upside down and shake it, and that gun's not going to come out. We see all the time people wanting to just get by, and because they're spending $500, $600, $700 on a gun and ammo and all that other stuff, I get it, but that holster is an investment that you have to make. A lot of people ask us, why don't you let people draw from the holster on the range? We get that a lot, and that's coming.
It is.
We're going to offer a certification course that's going to allow that to happen.
Coming.
But your equipment is going to be at the top of that list in order to qualify to do that.
And the word that I don't like is cheap. And there's a difference between cheap
and inexpensive.
We have some inexpensive options that we can honestly recommend you starting with and investing in, because it is still an investment. But it's an investment that's actually worth something.
The holster that I've got, so I went through all this. When I started 12 years ago.
Yeah, we always done too.
I've got a box on top of my safe at home, literally this big, full of holsters that I'll never use again, because I started with, I don't need, I can just get by, right? And eventually it just dawned on me, I'm going to hurt myself, I'm going to hurt somebody else, I'm going to lose my gun. So I went out and invested in a nice holster. I carry a crossbreed. I've carried a Glock 19 in that holster for 10 years, and I still use the same holster every day. It still works perfectly. That's because I invested in something that is going to be a part of my rig that's going to work. So I think what we want to do is show this video that we've got, and this will help explain why you can't get by with a cheap holster. So,
and just so everybody knows, there's no audio with it.
There's no audio with the video, so don't get panicked, but just watch it and kind of read the comments that are there. Oh, that was painful to watch. So
I wish that was the first time I had seen something like that.
I know, then that's kind of the sad thing. So I want to point something else out, point out a couple of things. Number one, the firearm, I believe, is a Bursa Thunder, which is a double action, single action firearm, and it does have a manual safety on it. So when that gun discharged, if it was, because it shows him loading it, putting a mag in it, charging it, I think on that Thunder you can have the safety on and the hammer cocked. Is that correct? No, I don't know. I'd have to look that up. My point is, I think that gun was likely in double, what?
Frank just said, I think the holster came with those shoes as a box set.
Frank said,
Frank.
Yeah, nice one, Frank. Excellent.
Well said. Well
so, in order to make that gun discharge, significant pressure had to be put on that trigger, more than likely. But there are several things there that are
You
a
can
problem.
see him fighting to get that sucker in the
If you have to
holster.
fight to holster it, you got the wrong rig. He was holding the gun by the slide and the
Yeah,
trigger.
like,
Yeah. It was, and pointing it in a terrible
like-
direction. Yep. His shirt, he had not cleared his t-shirt, so he was fighting with it at the same time, trying to get that gun in there. And so all of those things added up to him shooting himself in the leg. Which, you know.
at least it was himself,
At
and not
least
someone
that's
else.
exactly right.
But, guys, like, really.
Folks, you cannot go wrong investing in a good
Yeah,
quality holster.
It's not like you have to spend $1 million.
No.
You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars,
No.
like Ron said.
You can get a
like
good holster in that $40 to $100 range,
and there's,
all day long.
There's some that you could argue be very wary of jumping on Amazon, because there's a lot of stuff out there on Amazon. But there's a lot of options in that range of monies that I know it's going to be more than a tank of gas, generally speaking, but it's one tank of gas.
Well, you buy one and done. Because inevitably what you're going to do is you're going to buy that cheap holster or in it, you know, and you're going to use it for a month and go, this isn't good enough.
Right, and you're
throw
going
it
to
in
do
a
one
box
or two
and
things.
go
You're
get a
either going
nicer
to
holster.
stop carrying,
That's another good
which
point.
you've completely, wasted a big
Yep.
investment by not continuing to keep yourself protected.
Yep.
Or you're going to end up having to buy more holsters.
Yep, and wasting money
By that
anyway.
point, you'll have had a thing, and you don't want a thing like that thing. Generally speaking, a lot of times we'll see somebody go from that to something that's really on the other end of it, and they find that that's not really what they were looking for either. Then they had, it's not uncommon to get a holster that you're not quote unquote happy with when it's new to you.
This is a great point.
Quality is going to help in the fact that it is going to fit properly. So it is going to be an uncomfortable thing at first because, especially with inside the waistband, where you carry and how you carry is definitely going to kind of modify that.
Right.
But as a new to the carry world, it's going to feel awkward. But it's awkward. It's not really painful.
It's not uncomfortable, it's just different, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I equate it to really give a holster a fair shot, you've got to wear that thing for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
30 days is better, but you need to wear it every day for at least 2 weeks. Here's how I try to explain it to people. Cross your arms. That just feels comfortable to you, right? Cross them the other way. That just feels weird, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like putting that gun on for the first time. Until you do it enough times, it's just going to feel weird. It's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with this. It just feels different. And you got to get over that.
It's different, and you're not used to having that big chunk of metal plastic in that spot, wherever that spot
Yep.
ends up being. But practice. Take the ammo out. Set it down. Go to a different room. My ammo is out of the gun is unloaded. Check, check, double check, boom. Now I'm going into the holster. Now I'm going to work on drawing
Yep.
and reholstering.
Yep.
Clear the shirt,
Grip.
drive to the gun,
Draw the
roll it
gun,
on,
drive it.
but practice.
I still do it, 6, 8, 10 times when I put my gun on in the morning. I practice my draw.
Yeah, I
Just
try and
so
do it
so-
every
just so that I
day.
keep that muscle memory.
I'd love to say that I do it every day, but we all get into times where we kind of zone out of things and get too rushed at times. But whatever you're wearing, run through it a few times, and that way you know that with these clothes, everything is
works.
still working.
Yep.
Things aren't catching. Things
Yep.
aren't in the wrong spot. I have multiple different holsters that I wear depending on what I'm doing, and multiple different guns that I'll wear
But
depending on what I'm doing.
I'll bet you
But-
they pretty much are all in the same spot.
Yeah, one of two spots.
Yep.
It's either appendix or outside the waistband is my preferred method.
See, I'm not as
that's
smart as
me,
you. Mine is in the
but-
same spot every time. Outside the waistband or inside, it's in the same spot.
Yeah,
every time.
and there's nothing wrong with that. Everything's the same. When it comes to, oh God, I don't have time to think, I have time to react, you're going to go straight down to the
Yep.
same thing.
Yep, and you're going to do everything right.
And I'm not saying that my option is better, but
No, it works for you. You should do it.
I've trained both ways, and I consistently every day as I put the gear on, I'm going through that in the mirror because I want to know when it comes up. When I look in the mirror at myself, is everything lined up? Are my hands in the right position? Are my elbows tucked in? Or is this all coming up? Are the sights coming up where I want them to?
Am I gripping the gun properly?
Yeah, I mean, it's
all that cool. All that
same
stuff.
thing when you load. Anytime that you reload, it's a deliberate situation. You're reloading. You might as well take that moment to do it the right way, and not some of this like, oh, set it down and I'll do. Like you're never gonna. No.
Yeah.
So Frank's asking. He says, "I'm not an untucked shirt kind of guy. What's the answer for concealment, especially in the summertime?"
Inside the waistband.
Inside the waistband with a tuckable holster. They make holsters that will allow you to tuck your shirt in over the top.
Yep.
And you would never, the right rig, the right belt, you'll never know.
Yeah. There's and for the guys that aren't that either don't tuck their shirt in, it gives you a little more freedom with covering some of the unusual shapes that may find themselves when you're wearing certain rigs.
But the right holster, the right gun, carried in the right position, you
even
can
a
very
belly
easily
band. A lot of guys are going towards a belly band option. Dean Adams, who makes amazing corsets for females, they now have created a true males version. For years they've been getting people that'll call up and, hey, can I get the black one? But can you cut the lace off? But so they got a men's one. The belly bands, I think, is another name of another one.
Bulldog makes some good ones.
Can's got some stuff for females, but that gives you options. Ankle holster is another option. I'm not preferential to that.
We're moving down a road that I'm not happy with.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to ankle rig for secondary, but not for primary.
Yeah.
Because if something bad happens, it's like, wait a minute.
I think one of the keys that you need to pay attention if you're going to ankle carry is make sure you can touch your ankles.
Well, let's start with C.
I'm just
see
saying.
Your ankles.
Maybe we need to because just because I can see it down there doesn't mean I can
I have to be
hey,
able
can
to
you pull
see
that
my
out and
target.
shoot yourself for me? That's not going to work. But make sure you can touch your ankles. I'm not saying you.
All right, I'm going to touch it right now. I mean my ankle.
So,
yeah, it's bad, right? Thank you for being here.
Hey,
all right.
You're the one. Anyway.
Invest in a quality holster. Wear it. Practice.
Yeah.
First rule of a gunfight:
be prepared for a gun.
have a gun.
Violence of action.
Violence of action.
Yeah.
Friggin'. Those kind of haircuts over there scare me.
Be nice, would I have a plan to kill everybody?
Yeah.
The shortened version of Sir Mattis.
Yeah, it's like,
So, rants.
HR8, HR1.
Contact your reps, man.
Yeah.
Contact your reps.
HR 1112. Bad news,
HR
guys.
1112 is horrible, both of them. HR 8 is bad. You kind of catch like
HR 8 means I can't sell him a gun. Everything's got to be done with a background check.
No private gun sales. Everything has to have government approval and government permission.
Which means the government knows
through
where
the NICS
everything
system.
is. It's a nightmare. Bad.
And it's a problem because the only people that have already gone through all of the legwork with the different national agencies to have everything set up to run it through the NICS system are FFLs. Police can't do it. They've already run into that problem in a couple of states that tried to invoke these laws, and everybody's like, well, then how do I? And the cop, we don't.
You have to come.
They don't have
you got to
the
come see
permissions
me,
to
sit
do
down,
this.
and pay me.
Yeah,
to do it.
and so FFLs cannot be forced to do it without charging something. I mean, I think we figured out it's over $100 in total cost to run the 4473 and then file it because it's
have it
not
on
like
demand.
you can just
We keep them
file
forever.
it away.
You
It
keep
has
them
to be
forever.
filed for what, 20-something years?
Basically forever. You can't get rid of them.
And then ultimately, FFLs, once they're beyond the 20
Now, a lot of
years,
that's
it
gonna
just
get-
kind of rolls back through and it just becomes 21, 22.
Yeah, a lot of that
But
will get cleaned up with electronic forms and all that
We
other stuff. But
hope,
it's still
but-
the fact that I cannot sell my neighbor or my brother-in-law one of my pistols without
your
going
child.
and doing a background. Yeah, I can't buy my son a gun for Christmas.
No.
right?
No, you'd have to buy her.
So-
and then the secondary to that is the HR 1112.
This one's really bad.
It's changing, and so the NIC system right now and the Brady Law, what was that, 80 something, 90?
Well, that was
whatever,
probably
Brady,
86 or 87.
whatever.
somewhere in
I think it
there.
was 86. It was around the same time as some of the.
Bill Clinton
but anyway,
signed it, right?
No, that one was Reagan.
Reagan signed it?
Yeah.
Well, Brady got shot in Reagan's
Reagan.
first term.
Yeah.
He did. So Reagan must have
Yeah,
signed
Reagan signed it, and you know, I'm not necessarily arguing about the background checks. I do think that it's not a bad idea, knowing that this guy hasn't done anything stupid in the past. Like, it's a good idea. But then you run into problems because you can't require a social. Right. So it's kind of an up in the air. You can, you don't have to, but you do have to supply your information, your name and address. So occasionally people name children very similar names to other
Jr.,
children.
Bill Sr., Bill the Third.
Yeah, you have Bill Smith. Well, Bill Smith has a son. He names him Bill, and then you have
Billy.
Bill Smith again, and then
Bill
you have
Smith, Billy
another
Smith,
one, and then you have
William
so
Smith.
you have so that there's a lot of Smiths. There's a lot of Bills. There's a lot of Bill Smiths. So you get all this, and so when you're submitting your paperwork, sometimes the guy on the other end or lady on the other end, whoever it is, the agent on the other end,
The computer on the other end.
pulls it up, computer, whatever, pulls it up and goes that,
I'm not
and
sure.
have to look into it.
Yeah.
Well, they've got tons of these things coming in. So sometimes it gets flagged, and we aren't told why it's flagged, but sometimes
Never
it'll
told.
get flagged as needs to do more research. So it'll go into researching. And then they'll, we envision them on the other end looking a little bit further. But if they can't find something quickly to yay or nay it, it gets pushed to the side. They get what we call a delay. So the Brady Law states that after 3 days, if we haven't heard anything back, we can assume that everything's good to go, and then the transfer can happen to the individual. It does not mean that they're in the free and clear, but it just means they can take possession. And in the case like in Illinois, where it comes back later on that they figure out, oh God, this guy can't have a gun. They know who it is, they know where to go, and they can go back and get that. Now, the problem is they need to, nonetheless. So HR 1112 takes it from this 3 calendar days and stretches that to business days. So their changes would be the business days. Well, the NIC system, that background check is only valid for 30 calendar days.
Correct.
If
Once you've received
this
once it's
HR
been
1112, when you file it, you have 30 days that it's valid. Otherwise, after 30 days, it's a new submission. HR 112 takes it and says, in short, the 3-day safety valve is eliminated and replaced with a procedure that provides gun buyers without a whole lot of protection. So it has the FFL that initiates a check. If they don't receive a response back from NICS within 10 business days, then the purchaser then has to, on their own, petition the FBI to allow the transfer to happen. At that point, we still can't transfer it until an additional 10 days after it has been petitioned.
Basically, they're using this to create a 10-day waiting period, which they can't get past. So they're saying, we'll just change. So the next process now, when you come in and you fill out your paperwork, we submit it to the FBI. We get one of 3 responses. Proceed, which means the computer says you are who you are. You've got no record of any wrongdoing on your file. You're good to go. Delay. I'm not sure you're this guy or this guy. Somebody needs to look at it so that we can figure out and make sure that we don't have any problems, but you need to wait a little while.
Right.
Or denied, which means why the heck are you in a gun store to begin with? Because you shouldn't be, right?
Right.
So about 30% of the next checks that are run come back with the delay flag because of commonalities, like you said, in names and dates of birth and those kind of things. What they're saying now is instead of, and if we don't receive a response from the FBI within 3 days, is it 3 or 5?
Brady Bill says 3 days.
Okay, but I think, anyway, I think it's 5 days. But if we don't receive a response from the FBI within 5 days of the original filing, we can transfer that gun because they basically said we didn't find any reason not to transfer the gun. The new law says, this proposed law says, regardless of the reason, you have to wait 10 days on a delay.
Yeah, so it's saying
Right.
that you can get an
If you're
approval,
delayed,
you're
going to wait 10 days.
A proceed. However, if you don't get a proceed, you have to give them 10 days. And then after
days.
10 business days, you then have to petition the FBI.
If they haven't responded. If they
Right.
do respond, then you follow
Right.
the response.
Right.
If they don't respond, which is about 25% of the time, we transfer the gun.
And we can see that if
Now,
this goes
anyway,
through it.
but with the new
being
law,
able to
they're
expand,
saying
yeah.
it's now the buyer's responsibility to get the gun transferred.
Yeah, buyer
gonna
has-
have to wait
the
10
buyer
more
then-
days
and
once
then
he
they
makes
have to
that
wait
petition.
10 days. So if you look at that in reality, I mean, you could have a time frame where you go in to buy a gun on a Friday.
Yeah, and
And-
you won't get it for 4 weeks.
Yeah, so you
You
can't-
may have to do new paperwork because
So-
your paperwork expired.
Yeah,
and
so with
start
the
all over.
calendar day fall over, as far as the business days, you could get to a point where you've basically got 4 full work weeks, so 4
28
business
days.
weeks. So you have a holiday in there.
Yeah,
It's not business day.
yeah.
You have like the Christmas, New Year's time frame. You've
So
got
welcome,
multiple
welcome to
holidays in
America,
there.
legal gun owner. The government wants to punish you for being honest and
So-
law abiding. So contact what we're saying, we took a long time to say this, contact your representatives, your senators, throw a fit, neither one of these should come close to passing.
Yes, yeah, get on that.
Now tell them who your hero is.
My hero, State Representative John Cavallo.
What?
Yeah, from
What?
Illinois.
A politician from Illinois?
An Illinois politician. I love it. So, I know. But get this. He wants to put body cameras on all the politicians.
This is awesome.
So, he feels like there's such a bad problem with bribes and all of this bad business and so forth. He says, well, if police officers have to wear them because, you know, they're interacting with the public, these people are
Representing
governing
the
the
public.
public
Yeah.
and representing the public. Why shouldn't the public know them?
So some of your comments that you posted that on our Facebook page.
I did. We posted.
What was the
both of
best
those.
comment that you got?
Oh God, what did he say? It was,
One of them said, you know, one of these is going to figure out how to make a porno with one of these.
It was Dave Workman. Dave Workman. Yeah. Somebody's going to use one for creative sex tape. So.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, it's Illinois.
Yeah, I'm in favor.
That it's beyond that.
And
but
I think they need to be
absolutely think-
surgically implanted right here.
Yeah. So it's it'd be interesting. Yeah. So it. But yeah, that's my hero. I think he fits the bill for a hero. At
Nailed
least
it.
He's trying to do something that
Yeah.
could possibly be beneficial, and I don't see a whole lot of bad things to that.
There's a ton of bad things that can happen.
It'd be great, wouldn't it?
More fake news.
So we could be able to prove whether it was fake news.
All right, if you have any,
So-
come see us at the range. If you got questions,
Yep.
comments, call us, 636-220-1300. Come see us, 14803 Manchester Road. Check out our website, therangeSTL.com. Follow us on Facebook. We've got a newsletter that we're doing. Make sure that you're signed up to get our newsletter.
If you go to check in and we don't have your email and Ron doesn't ask you for your email, yell at Ron for not taking your email.
I'm okay with that.
If you got anything, post it below. Tell
Yeah.
dad jokes, more than welcome.
Oh, the dad jokes. Do we need to
Jason,
start a
where's your
dad
dad
joke of the
jokes?
day? Or
Oh,
dad
we
joke of the
should.
week? Or
I don't know. We should
dad joke of the month?
just submit as many dad jokes as possible. It'd be fun.
All right.
Alrighty, guys.
Come see us.
We'll see ya.
Are you ready?
Yeah.